Hey guys, Prithviraj here. Hope you guys are doing great. There's one particular laptop series that I'm a huge fan of, and it's the ASUS Zenbook series. In fact, so much so to a point that I have used two ASUS Zenbook laptops in my past that holds a near and dear place in my heart. The first one was a Zenbook 3 Deluxe, which was a unbeatable 8th generation laptop that has a behemoth of a specs and a super ultra thin profile. And the second laptop that I am currently using is the ASUS Zenbook 13, which is the UX325F. Now this particular laptop I've been rocking ever since basically before Computex even started. Last year's Computex I'm talking about, this year got cancelled. But yeah, so I've been using this laptop basically for both work and play. When I say work and play, my work and play involves both studying for my degree and also preparing for work, doing my articles, getting some mini videos done, and also play a little bit of Netflix and a little bit of mini games here and there. So this laptop has been an amazing companion of mine, but as always, ASUS loves to refresh their Zenbook lineup every single year. And this year we not only got a new Zenbook, but also a refreshed one. So meet the new Zenbook 13. This is the UX325, but what makes this particular Zenbook a little shocking is that not because it has a new design, but it doesn't have a headphone jack. And we are going to talk about that in this video. So let's get started, and you're watching The Adventures of Vesper. Let's begin. So let's get the specification out of the way so that we can actually focus on the other parts of the laptop, because headphone jack missing on this laptop, that's a serious topic to talk about. So looking at the specification, you get a 13.3 inch LED backlit Full HD display, which is in a 16:9 aspect ratio. It comes with a Core i7-1065G7 processor, and as for the GPU, we no longer get a NVIDIA discrete graphics card, but instead we get a Intel Iris Plus graphics in this variant. Now the RAM only goes up to 8 gigs of RAM, and you cannot expand the RAM because it's soldered to the motherboard. It comes with up to 512 gigs of PCIe NVMe SSD, and you can actually upgrade the SSD because it's an M.2 storage. And you also get the latest Intel Wi-Fi 6 with gig performance at 802.11ax and Bluetooth 5.0 support. Now that the specification is out of the way, I'm going to go through certain things that I really like about the new Zenbook 13. For starters, the design has been revamped from the ground up once again. You still have the Zen Spiral design, as I like to call it, the Zen Spiral design, because it's a signature design on every single product that touts the name Zen. And you'll notice that it has a brushed finish on the front and an off-centered logo, which is pretty much identical to the Zenbook Duo and the Zenbook Pro Duo, which we saw last year. And the moment when you lift it up, it still has the ergo lift, but this time it has a much more definite and a much more impactful ergo lift as compared to the last generation, where the ergo lift made a very small angle of sorts. So the moment when you lift it up, you'll actually notice that the keyboard layout has been changed, and good thing is that there's no more shorter shift key. Because the Zenbook 13 that I was using last year actually had some odd key shapes. The arrow key was fine, it was huge, it was really nice to use. But the shift key on the right side and also certain keys were relatively small, and I kinda had to and it still took me a long while to get used to. In fact, even till today, that is a key that really ticks me off. But thank goodness, ASUS went for a better approach. They actually brought in a proper full-size keyboard. Sadly, the arrow keys are a lot more smaller, but you get a proper shift key, proper backspace key, proper enter key, and you get all the shortcuts on the right corner, which is impressive. The power button is also along the keyboard, which makes it a lot more cleaner, and there's no fingerprint sensor to be seen because the only thing that you can use to unlock this particular laptop is an IR sensor, which is Windows Hello. And I actually love that over the fingerprint sensor because it feels so futuristic. I mean, you look at your laptop and it unlocks, like, seriously, it's the best you can ask for. And what I also love about the display is that the bezels on the new display is relatively thin, and the screen to body ratio is a lot more higher, and watching every single video and every single movie on this particular laptop is so good. Now all I did was just watch like Gyro Burns music video and so many other music video, and it's a super good laptop. And the glossy finish display is gone for good, so now you get the matte finish display on the Zenbook 13. The keyboard is great, the display is great. What's next? The trackpad. The trackpad is improved. Now it's a lot more wider. You have more room to actually move from left to right. And also the screen pad got a lot bigger, which is a lot more easier to tap on. And the screen pad also gets a brightness control, so which means you don't have to worry about being bright too much under low light or in a darker room. So all you have to do is press at the top left corner to dim it down. Super cool, super easy, super nice to use. And with the Windows Precision driver, you don't have to worry about the trackpad because gesture works just fine. The thinness of the laptop, the weight of the laptop is so good. It's still not as light as their business laptop, which is the ExpertBook B9. That is a laptop. I'll talk about it in the next video. And that's basically it. I'm not going to go into the whole performance because in order to know the performance of the particular Zenbook 13 that we have, you can actually read our full review, because looking at the specs itself, you should know how exactly this laptop should perform, given that this laptop no longer has a discrete graphics card from NVIDIA but uses an Iris Plus graphics card, and also the processor is a lower tier. So which means this is a very productivity centric laptop you're talking about. So say for instance, if you're all about that Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, if you use it, and say for instance if you want to browse your internet and watch some Netflix then and there, this is basically what you are going to do with this particular laptop. Another thing that I really love about this particular laptop is that I've been waiting for them to throw in a USB Type-C port on the Zenbooks you used to charge. My previous Zenbook still uses the barrel connection, and I was a little disappointed when that came out because by then a lot of laptops were adapting USB Type-C. And ASUS was the only one that was still using the barrel type adapter, which was a little disappointing. But this year, not only they made the laptop charge using USB Type-C, but also now comes with 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. And that's the beauty of this particular laptop. You still have a HDMI port, you still have 2 Thunderbolt port, you have a full-size USB on one side and a micro SD card, which means that this is still a laptop that you can get with full I/O, and you still don't have to worry about carrying an extra dongle just because you need to connect your pen drive. You still have a full-size port on the other side, which is a USB 3.2 Gen 2, if I'm not mistaken. So, which is a great port if you ask me. And also the HDMI port is also on the laptop itself, so you don't have to worry about carrying a dongle for that as well. Now, what you will be carrying a dongle for is the headphone jack. This was completely a shocker, given that the Cupertino brand themselves did not remove the headphone jack from the new MacBook Pro or the MacBook Air for that matter. And all they have is USB Type-C ports. And I guess ASUS took the courage to remove the headphone jack, but that's just not the case. They included a dongle, which is a DAC dongle. So that particular dongle has a ESS Sabre chip, so which means it does amplify your audio in a really nice way, and it actually occupies one of the Thunderbolt port, something that you really should take note of. And the thing about this particular port is that I was a little iffy because, say for instance, if your one Thunderbolt port is already occupied because of the whole audio jack, then you are left with another Thunderbolt port basically for you to charge your laptop. So say for instance, if you do need to connect to an external display, or say if you really want to connect your laptop to a charger, that's going to be complicated. And which is why you should really pick up a dongle which has the capability to bypass charging capabilities. Like the dongle that I used during my time was the Xiaomi dongle that actually allows you to bypass charging, so which is pretty impressive. So get those kind of dongles, don't get those ones that can't really charge, and you're really gonna spend a lot of money for something that doesn't really work. So seriously, look for the right one. I'll even add the link down to the dongle that I'm currently using for this particular laptop in the link down in the description below. So you can actually hook up to multiple display, but the headphone jack was a little, how to say, it was, given that it's still an essential port on laptop, because for the most part, even when I'm trying to edit video on the laptop itself, which means I would need a headphone jack. But this is not a laptop that you would use it for editing, but you can actually use the Thunderbolt 3 port to hook it up to an external GPU and push the laptop limits. So which means you can still use a headphone jack and use your headphones. But ASUS thought that it's better to go for the Bluetooth 5.0 route. So because it's a low power Bluetooth chip, you can also pair it with your Bluetooth headphones, and in order to make it better. I personally do use Bluetooth headphone, but given the fact that Windows has been horrible, and this is not ASUS fault by the way, but Windows really need to improve on the whole Bluetooth connectivity. I mean, even when I try to connect my headphones till today, sometimes there'll be a huge dropout and I have to deal with that issue every single time. And when you want to repair it, you have to delete the paired device and repair it again. That's a huge hassle to go through. And even when you turn on the headphone, and when you want to pair it with the laptop automatically, it just doesn't. Like, I have to go through the same issue just pairing my Logitech MX Master with my very own laptop. So that's the kind of issue that Windows is giving right now. So this is entirely in Windows' hands if they want to improve their Bluetooth connecting capabilities or not. The removal of the headphone jack in particular is something that I can't seem to get behind. But hey, one thing that you really should remember is that they did give you a ESS Saber DAC. I mean, no other manufacturer is going to do that. But say if you were planning to watch Netflix or something with the speaker built right into this laptop, you're not going to get disappointed because these speakers are tuned by Harman Kardon. And for the past 3-4 years, I've been reviewing their laptop. All of their laptop passed with flying colors, and in my opinion, ASUS laptops are the only one that has really good speakers even till today, in my opinion. So yeah. So, the ASUS Zenbook 13. Amazing laptop, sexy as heck, but the lack of headphone jack just still doesn't let me sleep at night really well. And I do hope ASUS does try to bring the headphone jack back in the next Zenbook. So that's basically it, guys. Huge thanks to ASUS Malaysia for sending us this laptop for us to review. And also, if you want to check out more content like this one, you can head over to our channel to watch more videos, and make sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you want to look out at more cool content like this one, in fact, if you want to read the full in-depth review of this particular laptop, you can head over to our website, and make sure to like us on our Facebook, follow us on our Twitter and Instagram, because that's where we post all things tech related. So if you want to ask more questions about this particular laptop, or if there are any other device that you want us to review, make sure to join our group Ava, because that's where you get to ask us questions and you can ask me personally. So which means I get to connect with you guys personally as well. So that's awesome. The link for that is also down in the description below. So that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Until then, this is Prithviraj signing off. Take care, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye.